um, having all our guys out there healthy, enjoying football, getting back to where it all started. So it's playing the kids' game and enjoying it.
Hode?
Hi, AP. When you look at what the defense was able to accomplish in the spring when you first introduced a new system to what they're able to accomplish these days, what are some of the aspects that are more pleasing to you as being showing a marked improvement from March until October?
I'll say the mental errors. I think with the Zoom and a lot of those virtual meetings that we had has now paid off, and I think the game has slowed down for the guys mentally. Obviously, they got to get up to speed physically and with pads on. But just the mental errors. You see guys, they understand right away when there's a problem or issue or there's something that's a bust. Right away, you kind of know exactly what's going on and who needs to fix it and where it was at. And I think that's the biggest thing. The players will now take onus and ownership of the team, that they understand the standard that we want to play here, that Danny and them did a good job with over the last 2 years, and we're trying to build off of that and play as aggressive, smart, and fast as we can.
chriskarpman?
AP, these linebackers that you've been trying to nudge toward leadership and taking charge and being dominant, where are they at in that process as you go into this year?
They're doing good. I think the proof's in the pudding. 2 of them are captains. Kyle Soley, who's a redshirt junior, who's done an outstanding job over the last 2 years of kind of just being that plug guy and going in the game and making plays. But, he's what we're all about here as a program, hard worker, does what you ask, smart, in the right place, right time, Mr. Dependable. But now he's earned himself as one of the, obviously, captains of the team. So now in the leadership role, being more vocal, that's big. And then Darren Butler, since he's been here, you know what he's been. He's been that kind of bell cow as well for us, that physical presence. I think it shows. Merlin's always a leader. Sometimes you don't need a C on your chest to be a leader. A lot of guys do it different ways, either vocally or what they do on the field. And I'm proud of the group. I've challenged them since I've been here to be that alpha, to be those type of leaders within our program, and they've stepped up.
Doug Haller?
AP, you've had Tyler Johnson in your room before, and he stepped away from the program, and now he's back playing up front. But just what have you seen from him at defensive end, and also just having stepped away and coming back? I mean, just what's his motivation? What's his drive like right now?
Well, I think Tyler always loves football. I think, he's one of those guys who's always been the most talented, the biggest, the fastest, the strongest football player. And, over the last 2 years, he was nicked up. A lot of nicks and bruises. I think it kind of wore on him mentally. Look, he took a break. He took off the spring, and then COVID hit. He kind of worked himself out. He came back, but, like always, Tyler always walks around with a smile. You guys have interviewed him and been around him. He's a great kid, and I love him. I wish he was in my room, but, I think he's around 275 now. So it's time to put a hand in the dirt and have him be a guy that can just rush the passer and get after it. But he's always been, obviously, a very productive player here for us in our program, and I'm excited for him because he's happy. He looks happy. He looks at peace. He looks like he's okay with the decision he made to come back, and we're happy to have him.
Adam?
Hey, Coach. So sticking with the linebackers, on that second team defense, you guys have 3 freshmen, Jordan, Caleb, and Will. Can you talk a little bit about what you've seen from them through these first couple of days of practice and their role on the defense moving forward?
Yeah, they're getting better and better. They understand the role. Look, they come in and, like most freshmen and guys want to do from high school, you want to play. Well, they're with the 2s right now, and they're competing for the 1 spot. So that's good. Like competition always, they're trying to push those older guys. But the good thing about them, man, they listen. They're sponges. You see them asking a lot of questions with Merlin and Butler and Cal, and throw Connor Soley in there as well. And those guys have done an outstanding job as far as just being a sponge and listening. And when they get the reps, like I told them, you're going to screw up, you're going to make mistakes, but just go 100 miles per hour or correct it on the sideline or in the classroom. But the one thing that I really appreciate, especially with Caleb and Jordan Banks, is they've done a great job with their body. Either getting bigger, stronger, faster. You can see the difference in them from when they were here in the spring, and we got those 7 practices in, to how we looked over the last week or so. It's been very impressive. And for Will Schaefer, he came in late. He's one of the last ones to come in, but he's done an outstanding job of picking it up really quickly. A smart, athletic kid that can run. Very, very athletic, has a unique skill set.
Jeff Metcalf?
I wanted to ask you, it's not all that common to have brothers on the team. What do you see in that dynamic between Kyle and Connor? And a second question is, can you just talk about Stanley Lambert and what role he might have this year up front?
Yeah, it's unique to see Cal and Connor out there. Every once in a while, I throw them in the mix together, and I say, look, between you two brothers, y'all figure it out. Y'all know how to read off each other. You can make it right. But it's unique, man, to see them. Two different body types, right? Cal's a bigger guy. I think he's up to like almost 230. And Connor's extremely fast, extremely talented as far as an athlete, running around and jumping. He gets ball. Obviously, he's played that rover position in high school and a little bit of that Tillman here last year. But I think it'd be a great opportunity for him to be like a will linebacker, dime linebacker for us to get some opportunities to run. So that's unique. Stanley Lambert, he looks healthy. He looks good. He's running around like the kid when he came in as a freshman that was just running around, running by everybody. Now it's just fine-tuning, the small details, at backer or at D-line, whatever we decide to do with him to give him that opportunity to be successful because he has a skill set that we need here, and that's how to get after the quarterback.
Chriskarpman.
Coach, at the NFL level, you can do so much with your players with sub packages and changing up the fronts and all these things. And I know that you and Marvin would like to be able to do that and tailor to the different types of opponents that you face. What do you think about your capability in that respect and just kind of mixing it up the way that you want to?
Yeah, you just got to keep doing with your personnel. If guys are healthy and we got our team and we were 3-3-5 last year, so they know how to do that. They know how to be a 4 down. They know how to do a 5 down look. So, it just depends on, what the game plan is. But the good part about our team is we got a lot of different body types. You got those big bodies in DJ and TJ and Omar a lot. That if you want to get over the center and run him over, you can do that. Be physical with him. If you want to get a guy off the edge, you got Stanley and Tyler. And then obviously, there's your 3 techniques. Stephon Wright. Cooper's looked really good. He's done a good job for us as well. And then obviously Jermaine Lole. So to me, in the backers, I don't have a Mike. I don't have an outside backer. I got 3 backers. They now play all 3 positions. So when you understand concepts and principles, you can do a lot of things.
Doug Haller.
AP, in the spring, Elijah Juarez was out there a lot with the first team at times. I haven't heard much about him so far. Is everything okay with him?
Yeah, everything's good. We just, the younger guys are doing a good job. It's one of those deals.
Okay, and if I could, you're a defensive coach who also forms relationships with the offensive players. Just what's the biggest difference you've seen in Jaden from last year to this year?
I think letting it go. I think you keep hearing everybody talking about that. Coach Edwards, I know Zach Hill's mentioned as well, just being more comfortable. I think he's at ease, understands, like, look, man, this is what we said. Year 2 is going to be your team. And Jaden is not a rah-rah guy. He's never going to be the guy that probably brings everybody up, and that's fine. But what he does is by being the first guy in the building, the last guy to leave, and obviously by his play on the field, he leads that way. He's a student of the game that puts in a lot of time after practice, bonding that relationship with his receivers and running backs, and hopefully everybody sees that. And I don't think in year 2 he's going to be he's going to be running the kingdom, but he'll do a great job for us of managing some of those young receivers we got, and obviously 3 new running backs.
Hod Rubino.
AP, we're shifting to recruiting. How excited are you to finally put a product on the field, so to speak, to show all those commits that they made the right decision and maybe try to sway some prospects in the next couple months here?
Yeah, that's always good. When you win, that happens. When you win, that happens. And then when you're a freshman that you bring in, play, that happens. And I know there's been talked about Johnny Wilson and LV and Diamante, Negata. I mean, we got freshmen. I mean, it's kind of like the norm now. Those guys expect to come in and play, and they prepare accordingly. Even at the linebacker position, DB position, those guys are, they are competing with our older guys, and you can feel the pressure. Those guys know that they can't make a mistake because this is a next man up mentality. That'll be critical for us, obviously, on the field. But on the recruiting front, it's always great. And when you're winning and the younger guys are having success, that makes it much easier to get some of the best players in.
Chriskarpman, last question.
Coach, you have a lot of talent at the safety position group, going from 3 players to 2. So the competition there is pretty stiff, especially with your son coming in. What do you think about where those guys are at, Ashari and DeAndre and everybody else?
Hey, we're a production-based business. Whoever's playing well, stay in the game. If you ain't playing well, come out, because we feel really good with our depth. Obviously, Ashari and Evan have played a lot of football here for us at ASU, have done an outstanding job over the last 2 seasons, and we expect them to do the same this year. Kewan Markham, had some good moments as a freshman as well, along with Cam Phillips. And then DeAndre, he's played a lot of ball. Obviously, he gets ball. It's pretty easy to him to understand concepts and get line guys up and make plays. And I think the best thing about that group is they're very tight-knit. They embrace the competition. Nobody's shying away from it, and they know you can't slip up. And that's what you want on your team. You want that every day where practice, every rep matters. Everything that you do matters, so nobody can slip up and be easy and take things for